Alrighty. So I had a really quick question. I had a really good question asked of me. I posted an IGTV episode talking about kind of why I quit my real job, quote unquote, my muggle job that I had just for a very short period of time. But it had to do with energetic boundaries. And so I had a really good question asked of me of how do you set energetic boundaries? And really quick, let me just address this in case you are watching this on IGTV or on the YouTube channel. Basically, I'm trying to record content so I can put it on multiple platforms. So if you are watching on IGTV or YouTube, you may see me looking from kind of different screens. Apologies if that kind of annoys you. But I'm just trying to make the most of my time. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, then this doesn't affect you at all. Anyway, so yeah, I thought it would be a good idea to just address this in a video because there are lots of different topics or audio. There's lots of different tips for setting energetic boundaries. So I'm going to share with you guys 7 energetic tips or 7 tips for setting boundaries. And these are energetic boundaries as well as just like real life practical boundaries that are good for everybody to set. These are especially good if you are somebody who is sensitive to energies or an empath, but really just good for anybody. So let's get into it. So 7 different things that you can do or be aware of to help yourself set some boundaries so we can conserve our energy. So first, let me address though that setting boundaries is not selfish. It's not being mean. It's not being rude. It's conserving your energy. We are human beings. We are made of energy. We're constantly taking on energy, releasing energy. It's exhausting, and it's okay to want to conserve our energy and to be a little bit picky with our energy of where we give our energy and what energy we allow into our lives. It's okay. So let's just put that out there right now. So you're allowed to have boundaries. Okay, it's all right. So tip number 1 is to literally just tell the universe, God, spirit, whoever, and yourself what you're going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with. It's really as simple as making that decision and declaring it. So you can do this sitting maybe in some meditation and say it in your head. You can literally say it out loud. I like to talk out loud to God, spirit, universe. So I'll literally just kind of like sit in my sacred space or maybe out in the woods, or I've done it in my car even, and literally just say what you need to say. So you can say something, or you can even write this in a journal too if you want. So you can even just say something like, this is what I'm willing to put up with. I am not willing to put up with this. So maybe for the instance of, your love life, I'm not willing to put up with somebody who is selfish, somebody who, is mean-spirited. I only welcome in kind, loving people into my life. Or maybe if you are an entrepreneur and you have clients, you could say, I am not willing to put up with clients XYZ. I am only here to serve clients who are ready and willing to do the work. I'm not willing to put up with excuses, whatever it is, just name it and claim it, basically. All right. Number 2, listen to yourself and honor it. So listen to what your body is telling you and what your energy and your mind is telling you. So if you are, every time you hang out with a certain person, you feel drained and not good, listen to that and honor that, and maybe take that as a cue to spend less time with that person. Or even if you need to in extreme circumstances, cut that person off completely. Or maybe, if you're in a situation, you go out to dinner with a bunch of people and you're just not feeling it, it's okay to excuse yourself early and leave. And you don't owe anybody an explanation either. You don't need to be like, oh, well, I'm feeling tired and this is draining me. No, just, all right, guys, it's been fun. Peace out. See you later. I'm out. And you don't owe anybody an explanation. But honor yourself. Listen to those cues that your body and your mind and your energy is telling you, and honor it, and remove yourself from any situations that you can or need to. I know sometimes, like in the case of being at work or something, you can't always remove yourself, or a family member, especially one that you live with, you can't always remove yourself. But there are some tips that I'm about to share that that can help you deal with those situations. So for instance, if you cannot remove yourself from a situation, it is good to visualize a bubble. Visualize before you go into the place or before you come into contact with the person that you know probably is going to drain your energy or make you feel not so great. Visualize just an energetic bubble around you, glowing white light, whatever it is that you need to. Some people like to visualize, I don't know, like they're putting on, like pulling over like a suit over themselves, or just whatever it is that you want to visualize to set up a energetic boundary. And you're mentally setting up these kind of walls, basically. And you're also energetically, because remember, our thoughts are energy. So whatever we're thinking, we're actually creating. So when you're thinking and envisioning this bubble or this wall or whatever, this barrier around you, you're literally creating a barrier around yourself. So it's not just in your head, you're creating it as well. Another good thing is, this is tip 1, 2, 3, 4, release energy that isn't yours. We don't have to hold on to every energy that is like given to us directly or indirectly. You don't have to hold on to it all. I have found personally that this really helps when you are in a situation and, you know, somebody might be grumpy or something, and then you kind of start to feel grumpy. This also plays into knowing yourself and listening to yourself and honoring that is, name it. Okay, this feeling is grumpy. This feeling is not my feeling. This is Sally's grumpiness. I release this grumpiness and give it back to Sally. Or you can just release the grumpiness and put it back into the earth to transmute it how she so desires. But it really does help to be like, to name it. Okay, this nervous energy is not mine. It does not belong to me. I release it. Because by naming the energy and then releasing it, it helps you to remove it from yourself. And I think that naming it really helps because, I don't know, our brains just like to name things. We like to know where it's coming from and, you know, what things are. So by naming it, and even if you can't name it, sometimes, you know, we're feeling a certain way and we can't put a name to it. We don't know whose energy we're picking up on or what it is. You can just say, I release this feeling that isn't mine. I release this feeling. And even if it is your feeling and you don't want to feel it, you can release it. I release this feeling of anger at this time. I release it. All right. Another thing you can do is cleanse yourself, to physically and energetically cleanse yourself. A great way to do this is in the shower. Envision beautiful, just white cleansing light pouring down on you as the shower water washes over you. And you can envision any gunk just kind of wiping off of you and going down the drain. So you're literally getting rid of like physical debris as well as energetic debris. This is one of the simplest things you can do, even when you're just washing your hands, because our hands, they pick up so much stuff, you guys. They pick up so much energy. So when you're washing your hands, you can do that as well. Envision like beautiful white golden light coming out of the faucet and releasing and washing down any unwanted gunky energy down into the drain. Excuse me. Another thing is to say no more often. I kind of talked about this at the beginning. I think a lot of people don't say no often enough because we feel like we're being selfish or we're being mean. But it's okay to say no. Granted, you know, we do want to do things for our friends and family, and that's okay. And again, this is where it comes into being honest with ourselves, All right. Do I just not want to, am I saying no just because I don't feel like doing it? Which, I mean, that's okay if you just don't feel like doing it. But, could it be like, okay, I could help out my friend right now. Then go ahead and do it. But if it is something that like maybe you have too much on your plate and saying yes to this one more thing is just going to really deplete your energy, it's okay to say no. If you are a people pleaser and you tend to say yes a lot of the time, start to say no to some things. And again, you don't owe an explanation. You don't need to say no because blah, 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 blah. You can just say, no, sorry, that doesn't work out for me. And leave it at that. You don't have to go into it. It's not your responsibility to explain your feelings to everybody all the time. So just go ahead and say no more often, and even say no to yourself. Sometimes we tend to push ourselves to do more and to do more and to do more. Listen to yourself though. Maybe your body, your energy, your mind is telling you, you know what, we really need to take it easy today. Honor that. I know I have a really hard time with that, with working out. Because of my health condition, it's difficult for me to like really push myself as much as I used to be able to, or as much as I want to. But I have to honor my body and my energy when it's like, you know what, no, we need to take it a little easy today, or tomorrow we're going to be paying for it. So sometimes I have to say no to myself. It's okay to say no to yourself as well. Just really tune into yourself and honor it. Again, I keep saying that, but it's because it's so important. And then finally, which we kind of already touched on this, is to remove yourself from people and places. It's okay to, you know, not spend a lot of time with somebody. So maybe you have a friend that like you like this person, but they tend to really drain you. Either they're always complaining, maybe they're kind of negative, but you like them. Maybe just spend a little less time with them. Or when you do spend time with them, instead of spending 3 hours with them, only spend an hour. And this is also like where you are naming it and claiming it. So you're telling yourself, I'm only going to spend an hour with Sally. And that's it. And once that hour reaches the time limit, like it's okay to excuse yourself and remove yourself. And same with places too. You know, maybe you really, I used the like going out to dinner example. Maybe you really like to go out to dinner with this big group of people, you know, every week they go out to dinner and you guys go out to dinner and you like it, but you always feel drained and tired afterwards. Again, it's okay to either maybe skip one of the dinners or to not spend as long of a time out, and you don't owe an explanation. Again, I feel like a broken record. And then also in regards to people, I know I keep saying you don't owe anybody an explanation, but I also am a big believer in communication. I think it's important to communicate with people, especially if this is somebody who is a good friend of yours or a family member. You know, you maybe don't need to have this conversation with a coworker or just an acquaintance, but if it's somebody that you have a really good relationship with, you know, maybe be honest with them and be like, hey, when you know, I love spending time with you, but I leave feeling a little bit drained because of the complaining. Or, you know, I don't know, maybe you could word it nicer than that, but basically just being honest with the person. Sometimes that can work because a lot of the time people aren't necessarily aware of how they're presenting themselves and how they're coming off. And so by you kind of speaking up and telling them like, hey, this is how I'm feeling when I'm spending time with you, that may be like a light bulb moment for them. Like, oh, wow, I should maybe address this. But again, say no if you don't want to do that. You don't have to like have this conversation. Your energy is yours and it is sacred, and you're allowed to say no. You're allowed to spend less time with people, and you don't have to explain yourself. But there you go. There are 7 quick tips and these are all easy things too, like super easy things to do, like nothing crazy elaborate. But 7 things you can do to set boundaries and also to clear energy from yourself. And that's all I got for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will talk to all of you later. Bye.